All right, guys, today we're going to be going through the process of building a gym app. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did from the ground up. Not going to leave any barriers here for you guys. Before we jump in, guys, I want to say at any point, if you are interested in just getting my blueprint for my gym app, go ahead and fast forward to the end of this video and I'll tell you how you can get started. So let's jump right in with the basics, starting with design and development. So first thing you're going to want to do is create a plan for exactly what your app is, right? So basic understanding, what problem is it going to solve? You should be able to answer that question in 2 sentences. What problem does it create? So that's something you have to keep in mind too. How easy is it to use it? And then who is this audience for, right? What audience has this problem? Write this down. You're going to want to have this idea in mind. This is going to be your target market when you're going out to either sell the product or going to a business that has customers with this problem. So write that down. And then secondly, what are their pain points? Why do they need this app? What is the urgency? What is the most painful target market that can value from your app? All right, next question, who's buying the app? So if you're building an app, who's going to be the buyer for that app, right? So for my example, I'm building a gym app. It benefits the customers and it benefits the trainers, but I can't sell directly to the customer or the trainer. So who do I sell to? The gym owner, right? So that's going to be my selling audience, even though my customer pain point is kind of a different audience, right? So it is benefiting the gym owner as well, but again, you want to have that distinction between, okay, who could buy this, who's going to benefit, and then also who's my customer base. You want to understand both of those players really well. All right, so now that you have that ironed out, and I'm going to send this document to you guys so you have it. Next, you want to go and research, right? So how many competitors are in your space? And can you copy their winning strategy? There's already going to be people out there, guys. Trust me, your idea isn't novel. Not to take that in a bad way, but also just utilize big hitters that are already in your industry space. So even if it's not the exact idea that you have, you still want to make sure that you're taking these assets, taking these top 10, say, competitors, bringing them in and studying their business strategy, studying what they're doing right, because trust me, it's going to help you cut a lot of corners. So you want to research as many competitors as you can and make a list of them. Find out their website, right? Find out their website, what app, how are they solving the problem? How are they positioning the problem? Who's their audience? And you can learn that from their website or their app. Those main intro screens that you see when you're going to download an app, you want to make sure you develop those as well and take notes. That's going to tell you how they're solving a problem right away to their customer. So that's something I pulled from a lot, is developing a fitness app, right? So I need to see what are other gym apps doing on their 3 screens that are on the website and that are on the App Store. Because those are super important, and that can actually completely change whether your app's doing well or doing really well. All right, next one, let's go on to, of course, downloading their apps. So you want to download the apps of all your competitors, go through every step, screen record the process. You don't want to have this in your back pocket when you're actually developing the app. Okay, so I'm going to assume you've already done all this. You guys can go through each step one by one and watch this through longer if you want to. All right, so this next portion is going to be wireframing. And wireframing is going to be developing just the boxes and the lines that connect your app, right? So from step 1, when the user logs in, to step 5, when the user actually uses the app. So these are going to be the main screens you need for a wireframe and kind of the fundamentals for your app. It's sign-in screen, intro screen, of course your home screen, and any additional screens that are going to be needed. And then you're going to have a settings screen, a private policy page, and a terms and conditions. Now you need those 2 pages when you're going to upload the app later to the App Store. You're going to need to put those together and submit them. Trust me, it's not that hard. I just made mine with ChatGPT, so super easy actually. But let's jump back. So there's 2 ways to actually go about wireframing. You don't have to start at square zero, right? So Dribbble is a great website to find inspiration, and Figma, the Figma community, and I have this link on here for you guys. That's actually what I did. So I designed my app on Canva, starting from the basics, right? But then I found an app similar to mine on Dribbble. And this app is great because it actually shows you a bunch of different wireframes. I'm just gonna go over to mobile, and here you can see we have some screens, and you can also search, right? Let's say dating app, and then just hit enter. And this is gonna bring up dating app designs for screen layouts. And this is going to be a great way to figure out, okay, how do you want your app to look? What's going to be the style? Again, don't get thrown into the style, focus on end steps, just get the basics. You can make it really pretty later, but this will give you some mock-up ideas on how your app can look. But Figma is going to be probably the best one, Figma community. So if you go in here, you can actually just search apps and it'll bring up a bunch of different apps, kind of the same way we did on Dribbble, but you're going to be able to see more wireframes. And that's what you really want to be looking for. So right now, I just searched up wireframes for apps and I'm seeing a bunch right here. And here we have a medical appointment one. That's great, or a doctor's appointment app. I'm gonna pull this one up, putting this in Figma. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in here and show you guys. So here we go. Here we have her welcome screen, you know, how they're getting started, their onboarding procedure. And those are the 3 screens that usually have an intro for an app, kind of what the app's for, how does it solve your problem, and kind of how is it easy. So here's this effortless booking, and then here you have their sign-in screens. You can pretty much copy these and just change the color if you wanted. Now you want to have these basic ones, so that saves you a bunch of steps right away. So you can take their design and start designing exactly right in Figma with these. So that's a great way to get your app started without having to really know the nitty-gritty steps. You don't have to design everything, right? But let me actually show you guys my app. So let me show you what I started with. So if we jump back, I originally started designing the app for a certain feature when it comes to training. So I wanted to make it really easy to keep track of your reps, your weights, and also just kind of how to like learn your gym machines. So I just started designing it on, this was on Canva, and I pretty much just use squares and rectangles to create the app icons, and just started really simple. And that's the way to do it, guys. You don't have to overthink it. You don't need a professional, you know, degree in design to build an app. Just get started. And let me show you guys what I put together. So GymLink started as a weight tracking and weight viewing for gyms. So here you can have, let's say this was your gym app, and you could look at your gym from like a 3D view, which is still a really cool feature, but the tech is just not quite there. And so you were able to tap on a gym machine and then kind of choose what workout you wanted to do, incline, flat, decline, and then you could hit start and kind of track your workout and track your weights per machine, right? So this was the original feature of the app, original design. It's still really cool. I'd love to incorporate it later on, but I ended up taking a turn and we kind of changed the app. So it went to a different flow of, okay, how can I really help the gym, right? Because then I was like, all right, who's my audience that I'm selling to versus who am I helping? And if it's different, then you need to make sure it makes sense for both parties to invest. I wanted to make it simple for members to find workout partners. So that was a cornerstone to the app that I actually got from Flo at PNC Bank. She was like, I just wish I could find a workout partner. And I was like, you know what? A gym app needs to have that, because there's a lot of people that when they come into the gym, they want to have a workout partner, right? And it's hard to kind of get that right away unless you already know people going to the gym. So I created just a matching feature and I just copied screens from Tinder. Like, I shit you not. You don't have to overcomplicate it. And these are all just, I'll show you. This looks way more complex than it really is, because everything in this is just an element, right? So this is a grouped element. This is just an iPhone screen. These are just rectangles, right? If I go to elements, I can just search up iPhone screen, and you're gonna have the graphics right there. So it makes it super easy to kind of create these. And just using rectangles, and of course taking screenshots, right? So you can take screenshots of the app design on Figma and upload it to Canva, and then you can kind of move them around in a way that helps you build your wireframe. So I took this app design and I said, all right, what are kind of the main features I want that I can continue and grow? Because this is going in 3 different directions, right? And you want to make sure you keep your app streamlined. So I went with the main feature being matching. Ditched the other parts of the app because simple is key when it came to launch, and I didn't have the tech to create all of these, right? So that's okay. You're gonna pivot as you go down the process of developing your app or whatever idea it is. But don't let that discourage you. Keep going. That's just the name of the game. Don't overthink it. Nothing's gonna go perfect. But let's go to the next design. So that's when I got on Upwork and I hired a designer. I used a guy, I think I paid him 300 bucks or 150, something like that, to create a professional mock-up of my designs. And you can see all the iterations from Gymlink. It's been a while. All right, and here are the actual screens that he developed for me. Here he had a blue color scheme, and here he created all the intro screens for me. And then kind of like the setting up your goals and all that. And I'm curious what else he had. So here you have the matching screens, which you put together that actually turned out really nice. And then he had kind of some social tracking. So here you have some leaderboards. If everyone had, say, like an Apple Watch, they could kind of compete on a global leaderboard for the gym. Here we have some personal settings, profile settings that you could edit, all that, and it was great. So from this design, I went ahead and just changed the color scheme. And here you can see another stage in development when I was changing all the colors from blue to gold, black, and gray. Updated the matching, the messaging. I wanted to make it simple and clean. And let's go back 2 months ago. And as you can see, as I was developing the app, I was getting with a lot of the screens just kind of being jumbled. So that's why you want to have a good designer and developer to keep track. But let me go ahead and zoom in here. So here's some screens that I took from another app that I really liked. It was like the intro screens, creating an account and just doing a one-time password. Doing these quick things versus sending an email confirmation, making it faster like that is so worth it. Yeah, it's a few extra dollars a month for having a phone number linked with Twilio. Maybe it takes your developer an extra week or two and 150 bucks. It's worth it. Just put the money aside, make it happen. This makes your app way easier when it comes to user accessibility. And if your login process takes like 10 minutes, which mine did at first, no one's gonna use your app. It's just not gonna happen. So you wanna get rid of as many sign-up steps as you can, get your user using your app as fast as possible. So let's go to my website and I'll show you guys exactly kind of what I put together. Here I have kind of an intro video explaining what Gymlink is. And Gymlink pretty much makes it easy for your members to connect with your trainers connect with your members. And there's also an AI built-in trainer, so that way users can quickly get set up and put together a workout in their gym. And so making it really simple was the key, right? So having all the trainers directly in the app and having users' ability to message them was super key in having an app for gyms, right? So those are the main features I had: messaging, matching, and then AI trainer. And I'll show you guys here. You can match with someone. You can also scan in with your gym code. And then we also add an AI trainer. So yeah, as you can see, it'll just build a workout for you, right? And that's just a ChatGPT plugin. And then I just kind of made it a simple schedule a call with me to get started. That kind of shows you the walkthrough of the app and then also kind of some of the things I built on the back end. So if you're going to want to make your gym app a product or service, then you're going to want to have a website. Now I built mine with Wix. You can build one really simple with some of these drag and drop editors. Don't overcomplicate it. Simplicity is key. So just having a simple homepage and video describing what your service does is super important. And then of course a pricing page and a way for them to get started and to contact you. Now let's talk about how you can get this front end designed, right? So I went with Upwork, and I'll show you guys right now. Upwork is kind of like Fiverr. This is pretty much just two websites where you can hire talent overseas at a lower rate. And it's really a process of vetting. Well, I had my virtual assistant go through the top rated sellers who already have hours under their belt, who are in the app development space. And I said, everyone under this dollar amount an hour, put together a list of 20 of those people, right? And then I set a meeting with all of them and I showed them every single step, showed them the app design, what I had in mind. You want to have a face-to-face meeting with everyone that you're going to have develop your app. You don't want to have any language barriers. Trust me, it's worth it just to take the simple steps and have a meeting, cut out the time. If you're going to have them design it, you want to be able to talk to them and make sure they understand what you're putting together. So yeah, on Upwork, I pretty much just searched up app developer or app designer. So there's going to be two pieces of the puzzle: your app developer and your app designer. So one's going to do the front end and one's going to do the back end. And that's kind of like the logic, but that's okay. Usually if you hire like an agency or someone with good experience, they will know someone that can do the back end because they've just been designing so many apps. So let's go back to Upwork. Now what I'd recommend is go through each of these people, right? And go directly down to the bottom. And I want to see their portfolio and also the work they've done. And you can see relevant jobs, task management system, construction management. Those are good to have too, because that way they'll be able to do the kind of analytics side of your app. And that means they probably have an idea of a good backend. So yeah, they have 4 projects. This could be a good designer for your app. So I would definitely reach out to them, schedule a meeting with them, right? And that's just the process, is go through each one. I would look for someone over 5K in earnings. 10K might even be better. That way they just have more experience. Also look at how many projects they've done. So I'd probably go on this guy. This guy's a pretty low rate per hour. 93 work hours, not bad. Total jobs 29, good. And here we have his portfolio, right? So you can see a lot more app designs on this guy's and displayed really nicely. So that's what you want to look at, right? And you want to make sure that you're not just hiring a designer because he has $5 an hour. You want to know what kind of work they're going to do, otherwise you're just going to waste your time and money. So that's the process for finding. It's the same thing on Fiverr, pretty much just a different layout. All right, so now let's say you found a good designer, he's developed the app for you, and he's going to focus on back end. So now he has the app design for you, right? So this is where you go through iterations. You want to make sure that you have a simplified app. So cut out any complex steps, any additional features that are going to make the app complicated. Stick with solving one problem and launching the app that way. Don't worry about making the app perfect. You want to get it out there. And one thing I want to point out is communication. You want to make sure you put together a contract with your app. You can put together an NDA. I think that's always beneficial. You can get layouts on ChatGPT or any other website on Google. Just look it up. They'll have a template for you to edit. So that's pretty much what you need in terms of documenting. I would definitely have that signed and then work with them on the app designs. Now, when it comes to improving, right, go ahead and expect a period of back and forth where you're iterating the app, you're making improvements, but again, don't take forever for that. Now, when it comes to actually sharing that feedback, always do Google Meetings or Zoom meetings. Have something up like for Canva where you can kind of show them exactly what's missing. So I'll go ahead and show you on my screen. Here is some updates for the gym app we put together, right? So you want to make it really clear so your developer and designer knows exactly what needs to be fixed. So here I have increase text size, it's using your text limiter. So as you can see here, the styling wasn't right, and it was a little bit too big. There's a little bit of overflow, right? So make it really easy to tell your developer and to tell your designer what to fix. And you want to make it look nice, right? But you want to make sure that you're working with them. So not all of them are going to be perfect. Go through the simple steps, look through every screen that is being designed before you go to the publish page. All right, so once you have your app designed and developed, then you're going to want to go and sign up for your developer account for Apple and your developer account for Android. You can do it yourself, or you can actually have the guy developing your app do it on your behalf if they know how. For that one, I actually just had the guy do it on my end. Luckily, he had done many apps before, so he did the full developer account setup. You just create the account pretty much just on Google. Let's go to Apple developer account. And it's, I think, $99 a year just to have an account and be able to publish an app and have an app published up there. But again, if you're gonna have an app, you just have to pay for it. You need that done. Don't overthink it. So we're gonna go to account. I might already be signed in. And then you're just gonna sign up and create an account. Let me just go ahead and sign in here. See if I can show you guys some things. There we go. So this is what the back end looks like for the developer account. And I pretty much put in my business name here, and you're gonna wanna have that if you're not doing a personal one. You can do a personal app, but I would recommend just putting together a quick LLC or little articles of articles of incorporation. If you do plan on like making this app a business or using it for your business, you can just put it right under that. So I pretty much just sent this login to my developer, and he went through all the information on setting up the account. Now, some of the back end you'll have to do, like your address, your billing, stuff like that. Put in all that information and then ask your developer if he can log in and finish the other parts on your behalf. So that's what they did for my developer account. He checked all the certificates, make sure to get those all done, and then started uploading the app process. Now, if you're trying to do this all yourself, you can get the code for the app, but you're gonna need to download a bunch of other resources as well. I think like Xcode to actually take whatever app your code is in and convert it into Xcode so it's ready to upload to the App Store. There you go, Google Play console, I believe. And you're gonna do the same thing. Sign in, create an account, and then get the login sent over, and you can start uploading an app to the Play Store. Now, you're gonna wanna make sure you have your private policy and your terms and conditions on your app. Make sure you have that page accessible in a document that you're sending over to them. They're gonna need those files when it comes to approving your app. All right, so let's move on to what else you need for the app launch. So now that you have your app created, it's ready to go, you have the back end done and the front end, next thing you want to go is launch. So this is any additional assets related to your brand. And I built them all on Canva. It made it super easy in terms of mockups, whether it's like a business card or a QR scanner, stuff like that. So for our gym app, we made it really easy and we added QR code scanners like this. So this is connect with your trainers and your members in your gym, and they could just scan to get started. So doing something like that helps users get your app in their hands faster. Here we add some other designs I can show you guys. So this would be on a poster, kind of like a flat poster that is up in the business. And then we'd had some little magnet designs as well. This is when we were working with 24/7. But yeah, so that's kind of the full process, guys. Let me know if you had any questions on the specifics and maybe some of the nitty-gritty that I missed. But again, if you're gonna go in and develop an app, expect the timeline to be probably around 6 to 8 months. And go ahead and get your App Store and your Play Store account started, because that needs to get approved, and that can usually take 30 to 60 days depending on the timeline. But yeah, if you guys are gonna go ahead and launch your app, let me know down below in the comments if this is helpful, or if you wanna see a video training on some of the other features or some of the process, and I can put that together for you guys. All right, if you guys made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you do want to just get jump started with my blueprint, click the link down below, go ahead and schedule a call with me, or you can just go to gymlink.com and book a call with me there. As always, thanks so much for watching, and best of luck with you and your app.